Okay, Sharan, thanks. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Okay, thank you. So nice of you. First of all, I would like to say good morning to all the friends who have joined today. And I am really grateful to Mr. Sharan. I feel honored to be on this forum. And the factor that basically I am not a man from science, from zoology. My field of specialization, so to say, is English literature and English language. But I have been very passionate about butterflies for a very long time, as Sharan said. And the actual, earlier it was some kind of flirting in a way. But the actual love affair began from 2004 onwards when I purchased my first digital camera. That is when we could really take images and store them. Earlier, prior to that, I was doing on transparencies also. And I lost many transparencies in the floods in Punjab. So this is how it happened. As I went deeper into butterfly photography, as I tried to explore more, I came to know more about how butterflies and climate, they depend upon each other, how butterflies are indicators of climate changes, how they are very deeply conjoined with the ecology of a particular region, and how various changes that take place in the climate, they lead to migrations of butterflies from one place to another. So they are very good indicators actually of climate change also. So with this small premise, with little premise, I begin. The first slide obviously is the introductory one. Now we straight away move on to what are the, Sharon, the next slide. Next, please. The statistics about Punjab. Punjab is not a very big state. Its total area is 50,362 square kilometers. This includes rural area as well as urban area, 22 districts, 37 towns, and 12,729 villages. And the latitude is 29.30 north to 32.32 north, and longitudes 73.55 east to 36.50. Next, please. Location. It's a state which is bounded on all sides. It's like the temperature is because of that continental type. It's like a landlocked area totally. The bordering states are Himachal Pradesh to the east, Haryana to the south and southeast, Rajasthan to the southeast, UTs of Chandigarh, which happens to be the combined capital of Punjab and Haryana, and Jammu and Kashmir, which is a newly carved out UT to the north. West Punjab, a state in Pakistan to the west. In Punjabi, we call it Lenda Punjab because it is towards the west, and Lenda means the sunset. Then, as I've already told you, Punjab doesn't have any access to any ocean or a port. Before the partition of the country, and Punjab was a very big state. The West Punjab, the area which is now in Pakistan, that was a part of the present Punjab. And not only that, Haryana and Himachal, they were also a part of Punjab. What exists today as Punjab is only a very truncated version of a very large state, what once was a very large state. The linguistic reorganization of the states took place in 1966. And on the basis of language, Punjab was divided into 3 states. Punjab, which is predominantly Punjabi speaking, Haryana, which is predominantly Hindi speaking or various dialects of Hindi or a language called Puad. I'll come to that later on. And Pahadi speaking languages, they went to Himachal. Next. This is the map of Punjab giving you details about the districts and all that. Come to the next. Next, please. Now we come to the physiogeographical features of Punjab. Punjab falls basically into two broad physiogeographical regions, the Shivalik Hills and the plains. The Shivalik Hills are called the Kandi area in Punjabi in local languages, and the plains are called Bait area mainly. The Shivalik Hill region covers the outer range of the Shivalik Hills, and it is primarily in the nature of a foothill zone. It runs parallel to Punjab, and it's, as I told you, called Kandi area, and the total area is about 6 to 10 kilometers in width, and it runs along the entire eastern border of the state. The height of this area ranges between 400 to 700 meters above the sea level. On the other hand, the Punjab plain is a part of the Great Indo-Gangetic Plain, which is a great alluvium-filled geosynclinal basin formed by the elevation of the Himalayas. Some areas are totally semi-arid, and some areas are called bait areas because they are subject to inundation and flooding. The southwest of the state is semi-arid, eventually merging into the Thar Desert. This is about the physiogeographical features of Punjab. The next slide. Now, Punjab is divided into three regions on the basis of soil: Majha, Doaba, and Malwa. And the fourth is on the basis of language, that is called Puad. In fact, the language in all the four regions is different. The different dialects are there. Majha region is located in the central parts of the historical Punjab region, split between India and Pakistan. It extends north from the right banks of the river Beas and reaches as far north as the river Jhelum, with Indian portion now terminating at the Indo-Pak border. This area is contiguous to Amritsar. It is Amritsar, Gurdaspur area, Tarantaran area. All this belt is the Majha area. So a distinctly different dialect of Punjabi is spoken there, and the land holdings are also not very big, in villages especially. And then we come to Doaba. Doaba, basically the word comes from Doab. It means between the two rivers. The word Ab is water, and in fact the word Punjab derives its name also from 5 rivers. But there are no 5 rivers now. There are only 3 in Punjab. Doaba is the region, Bist Doab it is called. It's the region of Punjab which lies between Beas River and the Satluj River. It comprises the districts of Hoshiarpur, Kapurthala, Jalandhar, and Shahid Bhagat Singh Nagar, which was formerly known as Namashahar. And then we have the Malwa. I belong to Malwa region. The Malwa region is located in the southeast of the state of Punjab. It comprises the following districts: Firozpur, Faridkot, Fazilka, Shri Muktsar Sahib, Moga, Bathinda, Ludhiana, Barnala, Mansa, Sangrur, and Patiala, and is the largest area. And then Puad. Now this area of Puad, it gets its name from Puadi or Pavadhi, as it is sometimes written. It's a dialect of Punjabi with a mixture of Hindi and Bangar languages in it. So Puad is bounded by the Satluj River in the north and covers the region immediately south of the Ghaggar River. Ghaggar is not a perennial river. It is basically a river that flows up to its neck in the monsoon season and then dries out. It has some tributaries and it goes right up to Bathinda, and during the floods, it causes inundation of many areas in Punjab. This area comprises the following three districts of Punjab: Fatehgarh Sahib, Roopnagar, which was earlier called as Ropad, and Ajitgarh, which was formerly called Mohali, and Chandigarh. And then the next slide, please. Now we come to the climate and seasons. The subtropical location of Punjab gets reflected in its climate. It varies from very hot to very cold in the winter seasons. Punjab remains under the influence of monsoons during a part of the summer and disturbances during winter. Punjab witnesses extremes of temperatures. Maximum temperature, it reaches up to 46 or even a little beyond that also in June and remains between 40 degrees or more up to 45 in areas like Ludhiana, especially from mid-May to June end. This year, Ludhiana recorded 46.1. In Patiala, it was 44 point something. Minimum temperatures again come down to sub-zero levels to 0.2 degrees Celsius in December and January, remaining less than 5 degrees Celsius for 2 months of the winter season. In Punjab, the minimum temperatures have often been reported in areas like Amritsar, especially Adampur, where we have an observatory. And even in Patiala also, the temperature goes down very low. What is more important is that during winters, a lot of area it remains covered under a thick shroud of thick veil of fog, and there is a lot of ground frost also. The three main seasons are the hot season that begins with mid-April to end of June, and rainy season that begins from July to the end of September. And during this period, the humidity remains very high, up to 90%, 85%, making life very difficult. And then cold areas, early December to February, and again, very cold. In between, we have pre-summer from March to mid-April and post-monsoon, which is October to November. These are very pleasant times. Rainfall and forest cover. Next, please. The amount of rainfall in Punjab ranges between 25 centimeter and 100 centimeters. In fact, the rainfall pattern has been changing in the last many years. Last year, the rain was quite sufficient, but in certain pockets, it didn't cover the entire Punjab. The same is happening almost every year because of certain climatic changes. The maximum rainfall occurs near the Shivalik Hills and the minimum towards the desert in the west. And then coming to the forest cover. Based on the interpretation of satellite data pertaining to October to December 2015, the forest cover in the state is 18,037 kilometers, which is roughly 3.65% of the state's geographical area, which is obviously very low. In terms of forest canopy density classes, the state has 8 square kilometers under very dense forest, 806 kilometers under moderately dense forest, and 1,023 kilometers under open forest. The reserved, protected, and unclassed forests are 1.43%, 36.87%, and 60.70% respectively of the total recorded forest area of the state. The state's forest cover has registered a substantial decline over time. The total forest cover of the state was 3,058 square kilometers in 2011-12, which was 6.07% of the state's total geographical area, but it came down. But now the latest data of the Punjab government shows that the forest cover is going up again, because I don't know how far it is correct to say we have started planting forests, but the basic fact is that I personally believe forests cannot really be planted. Forests are always a natural growth. And when we start planting forests, actually we restrict ourselves to only 2 or 3 trees, which 3 plants which are of economic value to us later on, like poplars, like eucalyptus, like some other such trees, which are extremely deleterious to the subsoil of the water also, because they consume a lot of subsoil. Next, this is the pie chart of the forest cover. You can see from this chart how the non-forest area comprises the maximum area, and a very dense forest is very little. Next, the next, please. We come to flora and fauna. Now, so far as avifauna is concerned, about 400 species of birds have been found in Punjab. And I have myself recorded about 250 odd birds. Among the mammals, we have nilgai, wildcat, different species of deers and antlers, fruit bats, wild boars, squirrels, mongoose, stray leopards in areas in the Shivalik Hills belt. They were noted down especially during this period when the lockdown was going on. Even in Chandigarh also, leopard was noted. It was reported to the police along with photographs. And then we have coming to the butterflies. According to the last official census in 1980, the number of species in Punjab was 57, but that was never upgraded. However, now amateur lepidopterans like Dr. Ankur Devan from Panchkula, he's an orthopedic surgeon by profession, and Mr. Kulbhushan Kummer from Chandigarh, they have documented about 128 species in and around Chandigarh. Mr. Kulbhushan Kummer has documented actually 130 according to him. In and around Chandigarh, SAS Nagar area and nearby Shivalik Hill forest areas. So far as flora is concerned, apart from the ornamental plants that we have naturally growing plants, which are peepal, neem, banyan, shisham, which happens to be the state tree also. And then we have cheed, khair, bale, jujube, kadam, kachnar, kaner, gulmohar, amla, like that. But a lot of eucalyptus, a lot of poplars, and a lot of shisham because of their economic value. We have thorny shrubs and cacti also, especially in semi-arid lands. The state bird is northern ghost hawk, Accipiter gentilis, which is known as baz in Punjabi. But at least I have not been able to locate it anywhere in Punjab. And many people, many amateur, bird lovers, they also claim that it is not found in Punjab. State aquatic animal is Indus River dolphin, which was this time located once again in Harike, Pattan, which is a wetland area, Ramsar wetland area in Punjab. The state animal is black buck, and the state tree, as I've already suggested, is shisham. We don't have any state butterfly. Actually, butterflies, some of them, like the large cabbage white, they are considered pests because Punjab is essentially an agrarian state, and people are not really very fascinated by the presence of insects, especially in the agricultural areas. And the weedy side, the weeds which are there, on which many species of butterflies feed, those weeds are also not liked by the agriculturists. Next, we come to the Punjab butterflies now. Well, there are certain things that we need to keep in mind when we discuss the Punjab butterflies. The first, as I've already suggested, is that Punjab is an agricultural state, basically a granary or a grain bowl of the country. The area under cultivation increased manyfold during the Green Revolution in the state. And consequently, the forest area declined. The stats I had given earlier also, and here also I have mentioned it. The factors then, when we increase the total area under cultivation, we have to use chemicals also. We have to use weedicides, we have to use pesticides, we have to use insecticides and chemical fertilizers also, which are detrimental to many species of birds, which are detrimental to many species of insects also. And if the insects are not there, there will be no birds. So the bird population is showing some decline in many areas. The state's forest cover, as I suggested, registered a substantial decline over time. And Punjab is caught, the agriculture is caught in the Rabi Kharif cycle. We have not been able to come out of that. And that is because Punjab is supposed to feed the rest of the country. And this time also, despite the lockdown and the labor shortages, a lot of, much more wheat came into the market, it was produced, and it was sent to the godowns. So that is something which is very good, but at the same time, it comes at a cost, and that cost the environment has to pay. Punjab shares its borders and climate with other neighboring states. So Punjab doesn't really have any particular climate of its own, which we can call that this is typically the climate of Punjab. It shares its climate with nearby areas and the soil conditions also. And as a result, there is no endemic species in Punjab. There are common species which are common to all the areas contiguous to Punjab. They are found everywhere in the neighboring Punjab. Please move on to the next. Now, I come to Punjab butterflies and major hotspots. Something that I already mentioned, that the 57 species accounted for in Punjab, according to the Government of India survey in 1980. But there are different claims made by different individuals. Mr. Kulbhushan Kummer, who is known as the butterfly man of Chandigarh, he claims that he has recorded 130 species in and around Chandigarh. Dr. Ankur Devan talks about 128 species. Mr. Varinder Singh claims 115 species, the same number as is claimed by Dr. Avtar Kaur, who is working with the Zoological Survey of India and is currently posted in Solan. A book on Punjab butterflies, the only one of its kind, which was in Punjabi and was published by Dr. Malkeet Singh Saini. It was published by Punjab University, Patiala. It has about 80 odd species. My own number is about 85. The major hotspots in Punjab are, number one, Chandigarh and the nearby areas. Chandigarh, we have only butterfly park in India, and Punjab is in Chandigarh. Then we have Botanical Garden, Punjab University, Chandigarh, and the forest area behind the Sukhna Lake and Saketri. It's called Saketri, actually. The entire area near the Siswa Barrage, contiguous to the PGI. More than 120 species documented in and around Chandigarh area. This is what the claims are. The entire Shivalik Hill region belt. This is, again, a very rich area, which is very rich in butterfly species, about 110. And this is the area which receives many vagrants, many migrants also from the hills. When the climate there becomes a little uneasy for these small creatures, they migrate to climates which are less severe. In Patiala, we have Baradari Garden, we have Punjab University Botanical Garden, and more than 60 species were documented by me and a few other friends in Patiala, in and around Patiala, mainly in Baradari Gardens, Punjab University, and certain scrub forests near Patiala. Wetlands such as PK Patan in district Taran Sahib and Kanjli in Kapurthala and Keshopur in Gurdaspur. These are very important hotspots for birds and for butterflies as well. Now, coming to the next slide, we are talking about conservation efforts. Serious conservation efforts have been made mainly by butterfly enthusiasts. In the whole of Punjab and Chandigarh, there is only one butterfly park. The moving spirit behind the Chandigarh Bird Park happens to be Mr. Kulbhushan Kummer, who is known as the butterfly man of Chandigarh, as I already suggested. The park was established about 10 years ago and now boasts of nearly 120 species. Mr. Kummer has documented 130 odd species in Chandigarh. Dr. Ankur Devan, he's a very serious enthusiast in Panchkula. He started the Facebook page Beauty of Indian Butterflies, also known as Husn Titli. And he has documented about 130 odd species in and around Chandigarh and contiguous Shivalik Hill region in the Roopnagar and SAS Nagar areas. An effort was made to, this is something which I really want to emphasize, an effort was earlier made to set up a butterfly garden in the deer park in Patiala. Patiala has a deer park where some deers are kept, some antlers are kept, and there are some birds in captivity also, and there are a lot of monkeys all around, a lot of simians all around. So this deer park is an attraction for tourists, there is no doubt. Long ago, an effort was made by late Dr. N S Narang, who happens to be my guru. He was an entomologist who had distinguished himself as a very keen lepidopterist from whom I learned the basics of butterfly rearing and photography. The building was erected, but the project got entangled in the bureaucratic red tape. Now there is only a dilapidated building which is falling apart, which is a reminder of the dream that has gone sour. It's a few Facebook groups and individual members of these groups who are involved in arousing awareness about butterfly conservation by organizing photo walks, exhibitions, and lectures in schools and colleges. Notable names here are Mr. Sanjeev Khanna from Jalandhar, Mr. Arun Bansal from Chandigarh, he's doing a really good job. Mr. Jitendra Vij from Panchkula, Mr. Arvind Syal from Chandigarh, Mr. Swaran Singh from Fazilka, Dr. Dheeraj Sharma and Dr. Engineer Biljender Singh in Patiala, Mr. Bhupinder Singh and Mr. Sunit Walia in Sonam. Next. This is a picture of the Chandigarh Butterfly Park. It is spread over a land of 7 acres, an area of 7 acres. These are, the next slide please. These are 2 butterfly men, one from Chandigarh and one from Panchkula, Mr. Kulbhushan Kummer and Dr. Ankur Devan. The next, these are, next slide please. These are the various major researchers and researchers in the field of Lepidoptera in Punjab. Dr. Avtar Kaur, who is working with Zoological Survey of India in Solan. She has done a lot of work on butterflies in Punjab, and she has documented about 115 odd species. She has been of immense help to me in preparing this presentation. Dr. H. Rose, who was former chairperson, Department of Zoology, Punjab University, Patiala. Dr. Narinder Sharma and Dr. Walia from Punjab University, Patiala. Dr. Malkeet Singh Saini, his book I already mentioned. The book is in Punjabi. Then butterflies, there is a beautiful article on butterflies of Hoshiarpur, Punjab, which is available on the net. It is by Varinder Singh, Jagbir Singh, Kirti and Deepika Mehra, who are the joint authors. And then there is a checklist of butterfly diversity dwelling in the forest strip along Sarhind Canal, main line in Punjab, India, by Dr. Sharan Kumar, who is from the Department of Biology at AS College, Khanna. It has also been published in an international journal. And then another article, Diversity of Butterflies from Dholbaha Dam in district Hoshiarpur in Punjab, Shivalik, India, by Gaurav Sharma and T.C. Joshi. This is also available on the net in a journal. The next, now, next slide, please. Now I come to the most common and some rare species in Punjab. The largest family in Nymphalidae, subfamily Danaini. There are 5 species: plain tiger, blue tiger, common Indian crow, glassy tiger. Glassy tiger is very rare. And then even striped tiger is also quite rare. Subfamily Sitarini. 3-ring, quite rare. Common evening brown, quite common. Dark brinded bush brown, quite rare. And common tree brown, which is again quite rare. Next, please. And then the subfamily Nymphalidae, brush-footed butterflies. There are 24 species in it. And the rare ones are common jester, vagrant, rustic, barren, denied eggfly, common sailor. These are rare ones. Club beak, even common beak also sometimes has been seen. So these are rare ones here. Next. Gossamer wings, we come to Lysinidae. There are 12 species in it. I will have more to say about red parrot. Grass jewel is less available in Punjab. Sorrel sapphire is available only in certain pockets of the Shivalik Hills. Zebra blue is available in moist areas in Punjab. And small cupid is also available in moist areas in Punjab. The rest are quite easily available, like pea blue, hedge blue. So we come to family Paridae, whites and sulfurs. They're quite common, almost all of them. Uh, the problem lies with the Indian cabbage white and large cabbage whites, which are considered to be of economic importance to the farmers because they feed on cabbage leaves and they do cause some harm. The common emigrant is quite common. Uh, Common gull is a little less common. Pioneer and bath white, uh, somehow, both the butterflies I have photographed in Patiala, which were earlier not reported from Patiala. Come to the next, please. Next. And then we come to swallow, tails, skippers, swifts, punches, and judies. So family, Papilionidae. We have swallowtails like common mormon, common lime, common jay. And I'll talk more about the common jay later on. And then Hesperidae, skippers and swifts. So quite a few of them, but I have not been able to take pictures of very many, only 2 or 3 which are available in Patiala. Common swift, common belted awl, and rice swift. And then Rhyodinidae, common punch in the Shivalik foothills. Next. No, this is from where I begin my photographic tribute to some rare ones, and I will also make some observations. But I begin with this beautiful haiku by Matsuo Basho. Fragrant marigold into a butterfly's wings. It breathes incense. This is the kind of image that stays in the mind, refreshes the mind whenever you draw on it. And this is the poetry of nature. I look at butterflies as poetry of nature. And this is what attracts me primarily to these beautiful creatures. The next. This is blue tiger, Tirumala limniaceae. It is less available in Punjab, but surprisingly last year and in April this year, in May this year, a lot of blue tiger butterflies were found in Sunam. My son has photographed them. He lives in Sunam. And I photographed these blue tigers in Patiala. They were quite in a number, maybe I think about 15 odd I spotted in one day in Baradari Gardens only. Then these are, we all know these, basically they need some alkaloids, poisonous alkaloids, and they feed on such plants from where they can supplement their alkaloids so that their sperms are really very good. Come to the next. This is glassy tiger. Again, Parantica aglia. It's quite rare. It was photographed in Panchkula area in October 2017. Now, there are certain areas in Panchkula which fall very close to Punjab, and we may demarcate the borders because we are humans, we can do that. But the butterflies and birds will not. They do not need any passports to cross over. And they very easily cross over from one particular area in Panchkula to a contiguous area in Punjab. So this is a beautiful butterfly which I photographed in Panchkula area. Very, very close to Punjab, hardly about half a kilometer from there begins Punjab. Next. This is a common three-ring. This is quite rare. This was photographed in Pong Dam area in December 2019. It has been recorded in Chandigarh also, as I've been told by Mr. Kulbhushan Kummer and Dr. Ankur Devan. I went there in December 2019 to the Pong Dam area because Pong Dam attracts many migratory birds. In fact, in thousands, they come in thousands there. And Pong Dam, the dam itself lies in Punjab. Now, on one side is Punjab, and on the other side of the dam is Himachal. So I had I think, hardly gone about 1 furlong on the side of Himachal, on the other side of Pong Dam, when I found this butterfly there. In fact, not only this particular, the next one also found there only. Next. This is the dark branded bush brown. It's very rare, very rarely found in Punjab, but again, I have been told that it has been located near Chandigarh. It was also photographed in Pong Dam in December 2019 on the same day. This was photographed in the evening. The earlier one was photographed in the morning. Next. Now this is common tree brown. Again, in the Pong Dam area, the same during the same visit, but on the next day. Next. Common map. Now, common map, also called marigold bloom and Saristis thiodamas. I was very surprised to see one February morning when I was moving around in my university campus. There was a map sitting on a marigold. I had never seen a marigold thus far in Punjab. I immediately rang up Peter Smitasek and he told me that common maps are known to go searching for sun in plains also. So they do come. But for me, it was a surprise. Now this was also photographed in February, there only, in my university in Fatehgarh Sahib, but it was not right now sitting on the marigold flower, but we have a kind of a compost pit there where it went and it sat there, maybe sucking some minerals. The next. This is blue Admiral, Kanishka, Kanas. This again very rare. I photographed it only once near Pong Dam in 2014. It has been noticed in Chandigarh also. The species, this particular specimen that I was able to photograph had, perhaps it was old, a bit of broken wings, and it was at a distance, sitting at a distance from me. So even though I used the zoom lens, I could not really close in onto it. And this is a cropped image and blown up image of that, but this butterfly. Next. And this is the painted lady, Vanessa Carduai. It was once limited to Shivalik Hills, as many people report, but photographed in Patiala and Sonam this time, last to last year also. In fact, I have reared the painted lady at my place. Last year, more than 70 painted ladies were counted in Patiala in April by me. The availability of stinging nettles, its host plant, in abundance in Patiala was also noticed. Maybe that was the reason why they were there. The next. Now this is Indian red Admiral. Now it has been established as a butterfly that is found at many places in Punjab, but earlier it wasn't. It was recorded in Patiala by me, I think in 2014, and I sent the record to Peter Smitasek. It was published in his book, A Synoptic Catalogue of the Butterflies of India, edited by R.K. Varshney and Peter Smitasek in 2015, page number 225. Next. Now club beak, Navithia mira. This one was photographed in Dalhousie in Himachal Pradesh, not in Dalhousie, but on the way to Dalhousie. There is a place called Dunera when you go to Dalhousie from Pathankot side. Some portion before Dunera falls into Punjab. Dunera itself falls into Himachal. So we stopped on the way to have a cup of tea, a little short of Dunera, and I found this butterfly there. I photographed it. This was, I've forgotten to mention the year here. This was in 2017. But it has been reported in Chandigarh also and in Shivalik foothills also. But for me, it was a new find. Next. Red Parrot, the Gusamur wings, Lycinidae. Now, this is a story, very interesting story that I want to share with all my friends here today. We photographed this butterfly at our place in 2008. We had succulents, which are kalancho, which are its host plants, and the eggs are laid on the succulent leaf, and the larva then goes into the leaf and eats up the leaf from within. And within no time, within a few days, we found all the leaves withering. And then suddenly we saw on one particular leaf, red parrot coming and ovipositing, laying eggs. That is how we came to know that it was the doing of the larvae of this butterfly. And almost all the succulents, yes, almost all the succulents that I had in my house, they were eaten up. I found this butterfly again in 2000. Next slide, please. Now this is the life cycle butterfly ovipositing at my place in my backyard. And on the right side, you have the eclosion of the butterfly and then the wings spread. My son was helping me in making these photographs. I saw it in 2008 also, but after that, I have not seen even a single red parrot in Punjab. It seems to have disappeared. Only this year, in January, I found it near Panchkula when I was moving towards the hills. Just one butterfly sitting on the road. I don't know what has happened, but this is a personal experience that I had with this beautiful butterfly. And then the next one. This is common Guava Blue. Again, not very common. This was photographed in Patiala again in August 2014 at my place. And the butterfly was almost lying on the ground. And it was not dead, but it appeared to be extremely enervated, extremely emaciated, as if it had not eaten anything. But after some time, it passed away. The only one that I have found in Patiala. Next. Now, coming to whites and sulfurs. Common Jezebel, Dahlias, Eucharis. I really don't understand why this beautiful butterfly is called Jezebel. Because the word Jezebel has extremely negative connotations. It means a woman of a very loose moral character who attracts others and makes use of her sexuality to entrap men. I don't know why this beautiful, innocent butterfly is called a Jezebel. Anyway, it's supposedly very rare in Punjab. I photographed it in Chandigarh in the foothills area. Next. This is Bathwhite. Bathwhite was earlier very rare in Punjab. But now I notice it almost every year in the winter season in the open scrub areas in and around Patiala, especially in a place called Reet Khedi village. There is an open scrub area. In fact, it was called Jyoti City, an area which was to be developed for housing purpose, but somehow it didn't come off, and it was lying desolate, wasted area. There's a lot of scrubs growing there, and I have been noticing this butterfly for the last many years now. I don't know from where it comes, but ultimately it is known to be a Himalayan butterfly. That is why it is often called Himalayan Bathwhite. Once I wrote it as Himalayan Bathwhite, but Sarab Seth was very angry with me because he said it is basically Bathwhite. Why do you call it Himalayan Bathwhite? So I dropped the word Himalayan from that later on. Next. This is the common brimstone, photographed in Patiala, found mainly in hills and in Shivalik hills, but quite rare and found in Patiala in winters, not extremely wintry conditions in January, but towards February and towards March. After the month of March, it is not there. Next. This is again the vagrant. It's a very, very rare find in Punjab. It has been found in Chandigarh. I also photographed it in the Shivalik Hills in Chandigarh. I don't know why it is called vagrant, because it may be migrating from one place to another. That is why it is called vagrant. And the biological name also, vagrans agesta, it indicates that perhaps it is its nature to be a nomad. Butterflies are known to migrate. They are nomads without seeking any passports like us. The next one. This is the rustic Hoopha erymanthus. This was photographed in Pathankot, Shivalik Hill region. It has been reported in Chandigarh also. I photographed it last year in Pathankot, Shivalik Hill region. Then the next one. This is the rarest of the rare tailed jay, Graphium Agamemnon, recorded earlier in southern India up to Gujarat and West Bengal, Uttarakhand, Arunachal, and Northeast. It's a very rare sighting in Chandigarh, recorded by Mr. Kulbhushan Kummer in September 2019. Mr. Kummer, this photograph appeared in the Times of India with Mr. Kummer posing with this butterfly. Next. Next, please. This is also a very, very rare butterfly, reported only first time in Punjab, in the Sisma Barrage area in Chandigarh by Dr. Ankur Devan. It is tawny mime. It is generally reported to be confined to Northeast and West Bengal. Next. Now, this is something about the story of the common jay. The common jay was earlier reported from Punjab, there is no doubt. But nobody had actually established which species it was. There are two species that had been reported earlier. One was axiomides, which belong to the Himalayas from Kumaon onwards, and the other one was Graphium dosone eluis, which was from South India. So I reared it and I talked to Peter Smitasek about it, and he told me to preserve the specimen and send it to him for proper scientific investigation, which I did. I sent the preserved specimen to him, and he found out that it was the southern Indian species, the Graphium dosone eluis. So it was recorded by him, in fact, in the form of an article in his bio notes, volume 2, 21 to June 2019. This is the next. This is the picture of the Graphium dosone in Baradri Gardens, Patiala. Next. This is the Graphium dosone egg about to hatch. The next. This is the eclosion of Graphium dosone at my place. I did it about 2 months ago. I have two more larvae, two more chrysalis of Graphium dosone estivating right now, waiting for the temperature to calm down so that they may emerge any day. Next. This is what has been done so far by us, by some friends, by some enthusiasts. for butterfly, raising consciousness about the butterfly. We organized an exhibition of birds and butterflies of Punjab in our university in 2016 in collaboration with Natural Biodiversity Group for Chandigarh. The group is headed by Mr. Arun Bansal, who is, as I told you, doing a yeoman service to the cause. The 3-day exhibition in our university with 150 photographs was then shifted to Mohindra College in Fatehgarh Sahib for a week. I have delivered talks on nature photography, concentrating mainly on birds and butterflies in Mata Gujri College, Fatehgarh Sahib, Government Mohindra College, Patiala, Multani Mal Moti College, Patiala, Khalsa College, Patiala, and the British Poets School, Patiala. In February, I went for a 7-day I was invited as a visiting faculty for 7 days by Jamia Millia Islamia Department of English. And the topic was translating the green imaginaire. The idea was how we translate, to tell the students how we can translate nature through language and through literature also, through images also. So one session there was devoted to the butterfly photography also in those series of lectures that I delivered there. And then there is an organization called SEER in Faridkot, which is doing its best to raise consciousness by organizing photo exhibitions on Punjab birds and butterflies in and around Faridkot. A 3-day festival to mark the birth anniversary of Baba Sheikh Farid is when the exhibitions are organized. Mr. Jasveer Singh, who is a school teacher, is doing an excellent job along with a dedicated team of nature enthusiasts in Faridkot. The Chandigarh-based Natural Diversity Group, Biodiversity Group, is continuously working with school and college students to create awareness about nature and ecological concerns. The next, what has to be done? There is a lot, obviously, lot more that can be done and should be done. Governmental efforts are lacking. Governmental efforts in a big way to conserve biodiversity need to be made, especially in the field of butterflies. This can be done by setting up more butterfly parks in all major cities. Let me add here that the ignorance about butterflies is to such an extent that in my, before I started my lecture at Samana College on butterflies of Punjab, I asked the students there to tell me even one name of a single butterfly in Punjab. I failed to get any response from anyone. Some elementary information about butterflies, their life cycle and their importance as predictors of climate change and in maintaining ecological balance must be included in the school curriculum also. Raising consciousness through programs in schools and guided tours, butterfly walks, for the school students in areas where butterfly populations are noticed. Punjab is a state that is in serious need of addressing the issue of environmental degradation caused by the use of harmful chemicals in agricultural practices and stubble burning. For this, the state government must educate people and tackle these issues with utmost seriousness. The Facebook groups devoted to nature studies must contribute their might for generating awareness about ecology and the delicate balance which is already imperiled by the imperatives of development. Next, please. Last but not the least. Thanks are due to all those who helped me in preparing this presentation and all those who attended this presentation today. Special thanks are due to Dr. Avtar Kaur, Mr. Kulbhushan Kummer, Dr. Ankur Devan, Peter Smitasek, Mr. Swaran Singh, Mr. Sunit Walia, and Mr. Sharan, the organizer of this program. Thanks all the participants. I can be contacted at my email ID that I have given, swarajraj@yahoo.com. Once again, I thank you all from the core of my heart. I wish I have been able to make some sense. Thank you.